the community and just everything that needs to come out of Missouri State and Springfield to be successful here?
Absolutely. Well, Bill Walsh said, champions behave like champions before they're champions. And so I think that everyone's got to take a championship attitude and a championship approach, right? No one can be on the sidelines and watch us do it. And that may be your role. And so, I think there's three kinds of investors in any sports arena, right? You've got people that can move the needle. You've got guys that are big donors, and not everybody is that, and I understand that, right? So you've got to engage the people that can move the needle. And then equally, you got to engage corporate sponsorships, and the way that, as from what I understand, 10 Fortune 500 companies here in town. We've got people that love this area, that love Springfield, that love Missouri State. How can we engage them and make them feel as comfortable as possible? And then we got the new donor class. You may not be able to give $1 million movement, but how can you give $2,000 a month, per year? And let's get a big group. If we can find 100 to 200 people that can do that, now all of a sudden you're moving the needle for the players is what it's about, right? We've got to bring Division I facilities here. We've got to bring Division I player life here, which includes nutrition, training, right, investment, and all that stuff. So what we've gone out and hired a staff that knows football, knows how to train that, knows how to execute from what it is that we're going to do. They know how to buy into the community and do all that. So we can start with that, but then also it's, man, how can I, if I'm a college student, I can't give anything. That's fine. That's not what our expectation is. But what you can give is effort. Right, you can give Saturday effort. I'm going to show up and I got a fourth quarter beer. I'm going to keep my fourth quarter beer. I'm not touching it till the fourth quarter starts, and then and to make sure that we engage and stay a part of that. And what we've got to do is we've got to do a great job of honoring our word and the commitments that we've made to the other student athletes and to the rest of this community, and helping these guys do what they're going to do. And then, but if we want to. The dreams that we have for this place, the dreams that all these people that were sitting in here today have for this place, it takes all of us. It takes all of us to win. It takes all of us to recruit, whatever that is, right? They come into town, and here he is. You own an apartment complex, and we got these recruits that are coming in. Man, that's a way to supplement somebody that's coming in. And then it takes all of us to create an environment, where kids feel like home. What I've generally found is that if players want to be a part of your program, and it starts culturally with me. But then it's also culturally with our campus and with Springfield at large. If they want to stay, then they're willing to communicate with you. They're willing to negotiate with you. They're willing to find middle ground in order to allow them to stay. And so that was a long-winded answer, man, but I'm glad I got to answer it. Yeah,
so. We're in the business of talking, so that's no problem.
That's exactly right.
Ask you about your staff. I mean, you have about 10 guys sitting behind us.
Yeah.
Tell me about your staff. Are you fully up?
So we're not filled up, but we're close. I got 2 more hires to make. We're going to start releasing those. I want those guys to have their day. So we're going to start releasing them tomorrow. I will say this, I feel like we've hired the best defensive staff in Conference USA. I'm super excited about what those guys are. I know what I'm bringing in offensively. I've got great young coaches to help support me and what it is that we've done from an offensive standpoint. Still trying to close out a couple positions. We got one guy that's hung up getting his background check took, so either he's FBI most wanted hiding out, but once we get him cleared, then we'll start releasing these guys' names and let them have their day as we get to work. Hopefully most of those staff will be introduced by the time our players have all heard from this staff, but can be introduced on a more public level by the time we start school.
And talking about recruiting, you had the previous staff recruited their class. Then the portal opened up. I mean, what can you do with the staff that was with the recruits that the other staff had? Are they sticking around? Or
yeah, so we're willing to honor anything that's done there. They've all been communicated to. In fact, we had some mid-year enrollees that are headed down here. We're excited about them. We're excited about those guys. I think the previous staff did a nice job recruiting. So there's good players. We're excited about that, and they are welcome to stay here. Some of them have built relationships in other places, and so what we want people that want to be here, and so we're gonna. We're recruiting them. We want them to be here. We want to do that. Ultimately, it's their journey. So, it's kind of a case-by-case decisions. But thus far, a majority of that class is planning on being here and joining us soon.
You saw Plaster Stadium, maybe Springfield on its very best football day when you guys came to town last year. How big of an impact was that? Just seeing what the stadium could be, seeing what the fan base could be when you made this choice.
Yeah, well, that's a great. That was my first impression of this place, and I was dazzled. And it's got to be that every Saturday. It's got to be that every Saturday. And however we can create a Wednesday night action, if we get into some of that weekday stuff that's going on, which is a great opportunity to be showcased on national television for our players. It's how we create that in the community too. So if I got to go to if I got to ask Dr. Williams to, postpone class till 10 a.m. or whatever, then I'll do that. I guess it's public now. So it's, so yes, no, it was a great first impression. And I think that it's honestly one of the reasons that that initial, I'd spoken to a few other opportunities, through the course of this cycle, but when they called, man, I was like, boy, Lauren and I had talked to Lauren, had been on this visit with me, and it was just it was an outstanding first impression, and everybody was engaged. Everybody was doing their job. That goes back to kind of your first question, and it was a fun environment, and it lets you know what can be done here. And so now it was a mess up letting me know what can be done here, because now we're going to get it there and past.
With the portal that you're looking for, what are you looking for? Offensive, defensive, or is there any lacking need that the Bears need coming out of the transfer portal?
Well, I think your offense always starts with a quarterback, right? You got to make sure that you do a good job, and your defense always starts with the defensive front. So what we've done is we've created a two deep for our season opener next year. Make sure that we do that wherever there's a hole, like we don't have a starter or backup, then we got to utilize the portal to get that. So we've got a wide number. We've got about 25 open slots. If we need college football players, if we need experienced, ready-to-play guys, then we'll utilize the portal in the junior college system for that. And if it's not, hey, we got a chance to thaw out, there's microwavable and there's thaw out. And so you got to make sure that you get some microwavable players ready to go, and then some that you can thaw and develop and be ready to go, so they'll be ready to contribute to our team for years to come.
You need a quarterback right away?
Well, we're actively in the process of doing that. Obviously, what Jacob Clark did here is unbelievable, right? We need to hang his jersey in our facility right now for all he's done for this program, and super excited to get to know him through this process. And yes, we're out there. We do have a plan for that, and we're working on it. But if you want to throw for a whole bunch of yards and score a bunch of points, man, come to Missouri State.
You were able to retain a couple local guys that are big parts of the team last year, Ramon Green, Connor Laird, Caden Weist. And you kind of talked about this radius here we have around Springfield, in the Ozarks, if you want to call it that. How big is it to keep them on here and then kind of expand on that local recruiting base?
I think it's enormous, right? So it's the people that know and love Missouri State from a branding standpoint, that would have had an interaction with Missouri State prior to them going to college, probably, or even high school. That's where it starts, where love starts, right? It's what you fall in love with the game of football from 6th grade to 8th grade. So if you can find guys that understand what that is, what this place is about, that has seen Missouri State at its best, making that spring playoff run, or being in this place when it's rocking, that starts there, right? Because they've got the vision and the belief. They know things about Springfield and this university that I don't yet. And so it's awesome that they put our trust and faith in them. It was a huge opportunity to get them to come back, and we hope more are coming. I think that we feel really good about some of those really talented players that help contribute to these last wins here that are coming in, and I think that they feel the excitement, they feel the love from our staff as we get closer. I still haven't met half of them. So I was able to address the team, thank God. Patrick set me up right post-bowl game because they were in Frisco. And so I met 60 guys or something like that. But as far as being able to even handshake all these guys, if we can get to the point where we're doing that, then I think we're going to find a lot of guys that want to be a part of this thing moving forward.
What about Conference USA? Just your thoughts on this league is new to everybody here, and the opportunity for the Bears.
I love Conference USA. I think it's a conference that I was a part of that looked differently then when we won it. I think there's great young teams. I think there's great coaches. I think it's a diverse group. You get to travel to different places and see different things. It's going to be a highly competitive league. And I think that we're in a unique footprint. Like I said, I think we get to recruit in a place where we're not necessarily recruiting against a bunch of those opponents that we have to play. And so I'm really excited about the league. I've got a call to the commissioner and the football commissioner in today to make sure that we're moving in the right direction there and that we get the best product we possibly can, an opportunity for Missouri State. But I'm really excited about Conference USA. I think it's a great league. I think that they have forward-thinking leadership, and they've really been active in the last 4 or 5 years, even with Missouri State coming into the league. We're certainly thankful for them welcoming us in and putting us to work, and I can't wait to work with that upper leadership in the conference.
What's been the last couple of weeks been like for you, SMU and here, and having to do all the recruiting, and worrying about the Mustangs? How's that been the last couple of weeks?
Well, they told me I had to give up sleep, and I forgot to eat most of the time. But we're moving. It's been fun. You know what? Rhett Lashley's one of my absolute best friends in this world, not just in this business. And he was unbelievable to me and my family, allowing us to finish what we started there at SMU. And it was fun to go out there and get a win versus a top 25 team. I think it's going to put SMU in position to finish in the top 25. And so, in order to be able to, I spent a week here. He allowed me to fly out there late, still contribute, help us win the game Friday night, and then we landed at 5:30. What's today? Monday, Saturday morning, right? Got in the plane yesterday, flew up here in time for this. So it's been a whirlwind, but it's like being in the weeds, right? You just keep swinging. You just keep swinging, keep swinging, keep swinging. It's at some point we'll get to the end of this thing and look back and take measure of it, and we'll see. We'll see how far we got. Right now, I can't even tell you.
You put some time in at Mizzou. Any thoughts on playing them? I mean, I know it's on the schedule.
Yeah, heck yeah. You tell Drink that we'll meet wherever he wants to. You got me, E? Wherever you want to play, man. I'll be ready.
Just on a personal level for you, head coaching is what everyone wants to do when you're in that coaching industry. To get this shot to be a coach's son, just how gratifying is it for yourself to be at this spot? Also, of course, there's work to be done, but where you are now.
Well, it's a dream come true. I've been training to be a head coach for 42 years. You heard him joke about it, but to see, and really, the things that I probably spent, 18 to 22 years old being mad at my dad about is now looking back is the reason I got into coaching, because you got a chance to make an impact on guys' lives. You got a chance to change them. I am super thankful that God's given me this platform, and I'm going to use it to the best possible of my ability. What I do understand about coaching and the place that it is, right? The cost of the platform is winning football games. The cost of the platform is winning football games. You guys are going to come out here, and you're not going to ask me questions about 348 days of my year, but you are going to ask me questions about 12 of them. So we aim to be really good on those so we can maintain this platform and really have a chance to invest in Springfield for years to come.
Talk about your dad and what kind of influence he's had on your coaching. What do you think the most admirable quality he had in his coaching?
Oh gosh, man, that's his love of the players. I think his investment in them. I remember I was in college playing at Tennessee, and he was at Alabama. We had like a bye week, and I went to his game, and he had like he coached the running backs there, and he had a running back get a concussion during the game, and he invited him out to the house, and he stayed the night with us and did all that. And at the time, I was kind of like, hey, this is my one weekend home, Dad. But then looking back, it was just that kid was 800 miles from home, had nobody to be there with him, and he treated them like family. If you listen to people talk about my dad, and my dad had a spectacular career, right? Was Sports Illustrated Coach of the Year, 3-time Southern Conference Coach of the Year, has had, 80-something wins. I mean, as far as his career has spanned, has been unbelievable from what he's accomplished from a football standpoint. But he's got a lot more people and lives and impacted generations and coaches and coaches' kids and and peoples that he's coached and their kids, and so it's just the wide scope of people that I've met that he's had an impact on is super important to me. So it was cool that I got to hire my dad. It's also I meant it when I said I got somebody that is a true impactor, right? A true guy that can help our staff grow, that can help our young coaches grow, that can pour into what we're doing recruiting, that can build relationships on campus, that can do a great job in the community of being out there in front of us and in front of he's going to represent what I want the Bear Spirit to look like as well as anybody, and I'm really excited to get him here to do that.
We've talked about losing Mizzou, but what's it going to be like to go down to Dallas next time on the opposite end?
I've gotten a bunch of they were like, hey man, don't let him take any scripts Friday after the walkthrough last Thursday. So it's fun. Like I said, that place. What's super cool about that place, and it's comparative to here, and I was able to see it at UAB and to an extent Missouri, is there were places that had these enormous ceilings that hadn't done it as good as they could do yet. And that's one of the things that drew me to this place, right? UAB had done that, Missouri to an extent. I mean, they had different level of resource, but to see what Drink's been able to do and carry them to Sugar Bowl champs and beating Ohio State and back-to-back 10-year wins is like unbelievable. And then what we were able to do down there, 39 wins, a conference championship game, a conference championship loss, a playoff appearance, be able to transition moving up, that's something that's new here that we've had a chance to do. And it'll be an awesome opportunity to get down there and compete against those guys. It's going to be a great environment for our players to go down there and experience and be able to compete against. And we've got about 14,000 things to get done between now and then. But by the time we get there, it'll be a really cool opportunity for those guys to get in front of that crowd.
What's harder in 2026, building a college football roster or having 5 kids?
Probably having a college football roster, but if you ask my wife, she may say opposite on that deal. So they can't enter the portal as far as I'm known right now, and so I can fuss at them pretty hard, and they stay in house. So but the culture's established there. Once we get it established here, then I think it'll be. Our guys are going to love this environment. They're going to love our coaches. They're going to love our culture. And as everyone at this university in Springfield pours into them and their experience here and making sure that game day is incredible and their life after ball opportunities, because the network here is unbelievable, right? Of alumni and people that are business leaders and have that. And we've got to get that class of people connected with our players, and not just football players, but our athletes in general, in order to give them opportunities after ball that really opens their eyes to what exists once sport is over.